Well, first up, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended Pongal celebrations in New Delhi. Pongal is a multi-day Hindu harvest festival celebrated in South India. It's observed in the month of Thai according to the Tamil solar calendar and usually falls on the 14th or 15th of this month. And speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Modi highlighted the importance of millets and how it's helping millions of farmers.
हमारे बहुत सारे नौजवान मिलेट्स श्री अन्न को लेकर नए स्टार्टअप शुरू कर रहे हैं और ये स्टार्टअप्स आज बहुत पॉपुलर हो रहे हैं। श्री अन्न के उत्पादन से हमारे देश के 3 करोड़ से अधिक छोटे किसान जुड़े हुए हैं। हम श्री अन्न को प्रमोट करते हैं तो सीधे सीधे ये 3 करोड़ किसानों का भला होता है।
And the Prime Minister also said that the traditional kolam made by Tamil women during Pongal represents the diversity of our nation.
के अवसर पर तमिल महिलाएं अपने घर के बाहर कोलम बनाती है। सबसे पहले वो आटे का इस्तेमाल करके जमीन पर कई डॉट्स बनाती है और एक बार जब सारे डॉट्स बन जाते हैं तो हर एक का एक अलग महत्व होता है। ये तस्वीर ही मन लुभाने वाली होती है, लेकिन कोलम का असली रूप तब और वैभवशाली हो जाता है जब ये सभी डॉट्स मिला दिए जाते हैं और बड़ी कलाकृति बनाकर इसमें रंग भरा जाता है। हमारा देश और उसकी विविधता भी कोलम के जैसी है।
And on the auspicious occasion of the festival, India's Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan, greeted fellow countrymen as well.
तमिल फेस्टिवल है, ये पोंगल फेस्टिवल है। हम मकर संक्रांति नाम से पूरा देश हम सेलिब्रेट करेंगे। ये सारे देश में हम हमारा किसान के लिए सम्मान देने के लिए, हमारा कृषि के लिए सम्मान देने के लिए ये फेस्टिवल हम बनते। इस फेस्टिवल बनने सारे देश में हमारा भाई बहन सबको पोंगल मकर संक्रांति के लिए मेरा हृदय से ये शुभकामनाएं।
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is visiting Iran on the 14th and 15th of this month as part of the ongoing high-level exchanges between the two sides. Dr. Jaishankar will be meeting Foreign Minister of Iran, Dr. Hussein Amir Abdullahian, and he will hold discussions on bilateral, regional and global issues. Political cooperation, connectivity initiatives and strong people-to-people ties will constitute important aspects of the agenda. Israel is marking 100 days since the Hamas's deadly 7th of October attacks on Sunday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel won't stop fighting until victory in Gaza. Hamas rampaged through communities in southern Israel in October last year, during which Israel says 1,200 people were killed and 240 others were taken hostages.
Israel on Sunday marked 100 days since the Hamas's deadly October 7 attack. Israel has vowed to press ahead with its ground operations to combat Hamas as the conflict approaches the 100-day mark. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that ICJ won't stop Israel fighting until victory in Gaza.
We today mark 100 days of war, 100 days since the terrible days on which our citizens were slaughtered and kidnapped. We are continuing to the war to its conclusion, to total victory until we have achieved all our objectives. The elimination of Hamas, the return of all our hostages, and the guarantee that Gaza will never again pose a threat to Israel.
Thousands of Israelis took to the streets of Tel Aviv on Saturday demanding the government to work on the safe return of the remaining hostages.
It's not 100 days. It's a long time for young people, old people, ill people to be there in jail under the ground. It's not normal. And we are calling everybody who can do something to bring them back.
On the international side, French President Emmanuel Macron called on negotiations for the release of hostages taken by Hamas on October 7. In a video message, Macron said that France does not abandon its children, referring to the French citizens still in captivity.
Cela fait 100 jours aujourd'hui, 100 jours.
It's been 100 days today. 100 days. France does not abandon its children. This is why negotiations for their release must be resumed again and again. Never give in, never give up, because we do not and will not accept any sacrifice. So we are going to do everything, and you can count on me to bring them all home with you.
Israel is planning a huge addition to its defense budget as part of a build-up designed to cover its needs for years to come. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel is aiming to become independent in military manufacturing sector.
I instructed that in 8 weeks, a special committee that we will create with the involvement of people from the Defense Ministry and the Foreign Ministry and some others who will join in will also give us their plan as to the huge additional for the coming years in order to create that independence in force build-up and in other things that are necessary to ensure our security in the coming years.
Meanwhile, Israel has accused Hamas on Saturday of planning to attack its embassy in Sweden. According to Israel, the attack is part of an expansion plan by Hamas in Europe.
Amid escalated security crisis in the South American country Ecuador, nearly 40 prison staff have been freed on Saturday evening. The hostages included guards and administrative staffers who were held by armed inmates. The release was praised by President Daniel Noboa, who plans to investigate those responsible for the hostage-taking. The security crisis in Ecuador has escalated with incidents like armed confrontations and kidnappings of police officers. Republican presidential candidate and former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley was out in Iowa for the final campaigning ahead of the first nominating contest for 2024 U.S. presidential elections. Haley made a campaign stop in Iowa City, where she rallied supporters, pledging military aid to Israel and Ukraine if she becomes president. She also said she would crack down on illegal immigration and close the border if she got into the White House.
Russia said once they take Ukraine, Poland and the Baltics are next. Those are NATO countries. That puts America at war. This is about preventing war. It's always been about preventing war. That's why we should give Ukraine the equipment and ammunition they need to win. Russia has hit rock bottom. We know that.
And her Republican nomination rival, Ron DeSantis, on Saturday said his rivals have their own agendas while positioning himself as the only nominee, highlighting the concerns of his supporters and families. Speaking to a packed room of supporters in Des Moines, in Iowa, DeSantis said ex-US President Donald Trump was campaigning for his issues, while former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley was running for the donors' issues.
Donald Trump is running for his issues. Haley's running for the donors' issues. I'm running for your issues, your family's issues, and solely to turn this country around. No one else running except me has delivered on 100% of their promises.
Meanwhile, it's Donald Trump who holds a commanding lead over DeSantis and Nikki Haley. Trump cancelled 2 rallies in Iowa on Saturday, citing bad weather. However, he made an appearance in the state for a small gathering with precinct captains and supporters. In a conversation with Iowa Attorney General Brenna Byrd, Trump took aim at his 2024 opponent, Nikki Haley, accusing her of being a globalist influenced by high donor interests.
He is a person that's getting a lot of her money from globalists, and globalists are not good for our country. They're not good for us. I know Nikki very well. She was my ambassador to the United Nations, and she had a lot of weakness.
So Nikki Haley is number 2 Republican candidate in the race for the the nomination of the Republican Party, followed by DeSantis, but Trump is way ahead of both of them. Now, U.S. climate envoy John Kerry is going to leave the administration later this winter and will help U.S. President Joe Biden's election campaign. Kerry, who is a U.S. former Secretary of State, informed his staff earlier on Saturday after having discussions with Biden earlier this week. Now, in its first missile launch of the year, North Korea fired an unidentified ballistic missile towards the East Sea on Sunday, according to the South Korean military. The Joint Chiefs of Staff confirmed it had learned about this launch, but they did not elaborate much on the matter. Following the ballistic missile launch, the Prime Minister's Office of Japan called it an emergency alert and stated that more details are awaited on the same. Howling winds, heavy snow and frigid air have hit most parts of the world. Northern India is experiencing a severe, prolonged cold wave that has thrown normal life out of gear. The United States is also grappling with the harsh weather conditions and flood situation. Severe winter weather is gripping parts of Japan and across the entire globe in Canada as well. DD India's Aman Kumar Himanshu's report.
Winters this year have been wreaking havoc around the world with extreme cold and snowstorms. India's capital Delhi recorded its coldest morning this winter season, with the minimum temperature dropping to 3.5 degrees Celsius. A blanket of fog enveloped over North India, bringing down visibility and affecting movement on Sunday morning. India Meteorological Department stated that the parts of northern India will continue to witness dense to very dense fog conditions till Monday. North America is also facing the wrath of harsh weather. A blast of frigid air from the Arctic hit Western Canada, bringing temperature to a record low in many regions. Western Canadian province Alberta recorded the lowest temperature of -46 degrees Celsius.
All that cold in the west is principally from what is coming from, maybe began in Siberia, came over into the Northwest Territories, and is now flooding down to Canada and going down really even to Texas. Has cooled off the many parts of Western United States.
United States is also grappling with harsh weather conditions. Winter storm brought snow, ice and high winds to part of the U.S. Midwest and Pacific Northwest. Meanwhile, heavy rains and coastal floods on Saturday affected various cities on the U.S. East Coast, leaving vehicles partially submerged. In South America, 2 people dead as heavy rain slashed southeastern Brazil's Sao Paulo state since Monday. Rain and windstorms damaged trees, flooded streets, and caused power outages in many parts of the state. Severe winter weather is gripping parts of Japan that were struck by a devastating earthquake on New Year's Day. Authorities warned rain and snow may raise the risk of mudslides as the ground has been loosened by the quake and more recent tremors. The Japan Meteorological Agency has urged people to stay vigilant against tremors for about the next 30 days. Indonesia's Marapi volcano erupted on Sunday, spewing ash some 1.3 km into the sky just a month after a previous eruption killed at least 20 people. Nearby homes, vegetation, vehicles and tents were seen coated in a thick layer of ash from the volcano. On the other hand, Australia is facing the wrath of bushfire. Hundreds of firefighters on Sunday battled an out-of-control bushfire near Western Australia's capital Perth, prompted authorities to urge residents to flee. A high-risk bushfire season is underway in Australia due to an El Nino weather event.
Now let's take a look at some other updates from around the world as well. The Chinese military released recent pictures of missile boats conducting live fire drills a day after Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party won the presidential elections. The Post mentioned one of the boats' predecessors participating in an August 1965 naval battle between Chinese and Taiwanese navies in which China claimed victory. Lavish celebrations at the wedding of Brunei's prince reached a climax on Sunday with a glittering ceremony attended by government leaders from Asia and the Middle East. The couple made their first public appearance as a married pair in a procession through the normally sleepy capital Bandar Seri Begawan in front of thousands of onlookers.
For the first look at the royal couple together.
The British Academy of Film and Television Arts, or BAFTA, held its annual tea party in Beverly Hills to celebrate nominees for the industry's top awards. Among the stars walking the red carpet at the event were Cillian Murphy, Rosamund Pike and many more. The BAFTA nominations will be announced on the 18th of this month. Hundreds of Australians took to the streets to celebrate the Elvis Presley classic film Jailhouse Rock. The parade highlights the 5-day Parks Elvis Festival celebrated every year in Australia to mark the birth anniversary of late singer Elvis Presley. The Parks Elvis Festival is held annually on the second week of January, with this year's edition ending on Sunday. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live, air pollution in Delhi has worsened considerably amid the cold wave. Denmark's longest reigning monarch is to pass the throne to her firstborn son, Frederik. And the Indian cricket team is to face Afghanistan for the second T20I in the central Indian city of Indore.
This is Dashrath Mahal or Dashrath Palace, which is thought to have served the home of Lord Rama in his younger days and also served as a capital of King Dashrath.
राम राज्य पूर्णतः 22 जनवरी को वापस आ रहा है। हम लोगों में एकदम हर्ष उल्लास है। जय श्री राम। पूरी अयोध्या मालूम दुल्हन की तरह सज गई है।
राम राज्य के दर्शन करने सब राज आएगा। ये पृथ्वी का ना राजा राम जी है।
अयोध्या में राम जी का भव्य मंदिर, दिव्य मंदिर बन रहा है। ये हमारे स्वाभिमान का प्रतीक है।
Iconic Ram Ki Pedi or the series of ghats on the bank of much revered river Saryu.
राम जी का राज्य था, राम जी का राज्य है, राम जी का राज्य रहेगा।
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy, and it's time now to get you all the updates in the build-up to the unveiling of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya later this month. Well, ahead of the upcoming consecration of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya on the 22nd of this month, Prime Minister Modi has initiated the Clean Temple campaign aiming to make the holy city pristine. The PM called upon citizens to unite in making Ayodhya the cleanest city in India. He urged people nationwide to kick off a cleanliness campaign at the smallest pilgrimage sites starting from Sunday and to keep them going till the 22nd of January. Prime Minister Modi also participated in the Swachhata Abhiyan initiative at the Kalaram temple in Nashik in Maharashtra on Friday. He cleaned the temple floor using a mop and a bucket.
फिर अपना आग्रह दोहराऊंगा कि राम मंदिर में प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के पावन अवसर के निमित्त देश के सभी मंदिरों में, सभी तीर्थ क्षेत्रों में स्वच्छता अभियान चलाएं, अपना श्रमदान करें.
Now, the Indian Railways has modified the schedules of several trains heading to the city of Ayodhya in the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh in a build-up to the event. Seeing to the growing demand from devotees eager to visit the temple town ahead of the consecration ceremony of Ram Lalla idol at the Grand Ram Temple on the 22nd of January. India's Minister of State for Railways, Darshana Jardosh, has shared a list of trains along with their schedules. This, as you can see, is the complete list of trains heading to Ayodhya. Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve in Assam records one of the highest migratory water birds in the country. The 5th water bird census was conducted in Assam, in which 84,839 birds were recorded, which was a 27% increase since the last count. Kaziranga is among the top 5 in terms of the presence of resident and winter migratory birds in the country. With the air quality in Delhi turning severe, India's Commission for Air Quality Management, that's the CAQM, has decided to invoke 8-point action plan under Phase 3 of the Graded Response Action Plan, or GRAP. GRAP Stage 3 restrictions include closing down operations of stone crushers, closing down all mining and associated activities in the NCR, and a strict ban on construction and demolition activities in the entire National Capital Region, except certain categories of projects. Strict restrictions on plying of BS3 petrol and BS4 diesel light motor vehicles or four-wheelers. This will also be imposed by NCR state governments and the government of National Capital Territory of Delhi. This will be imposed in the districts of Gurgaon, Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Gautam Budh Nagar as well, apart from Delhi. State governments in NCR and GNCTD may take a decision on discontinuing physical classes in schools for children up to class 5 and conducting classes in an online mode. Danes began to gather in Copenhagen early on Sunday to witness their longest reigning monarch, Queen Marguerite II, pass the throne onto her firstborn son, Frederik. People from all over Denmark were flocking to the capital in a sign of huge popularity and monarchy enjoys. Marguerite stunned the nation of nearly 6 million on New Year's Eve when she announced her decision to abdicate after 52 years as queen. She became the first Danish monarch in nearly 900 years to voluntarily relinquish the throne. The 54th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum is scheduled to take place from the 15th of this month at the local Swiss Alpine School in the center of Davos in Switzerland. Police personnel have been deployed to secure the small alpine resort town. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, French President Emmanuel Macron and key Middle East leaders are slated to attend the World Economic Forum. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will speak in person at the forum on Tuesday. A meeting of the National Security Advisors on Ukraine's peace formula is also taking place on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum on Sunday. India's development drive of Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra concluded in village Angara of the Indian state of Chhattisgarh. The goal of the initiative is to raise awareness about the government's welfare programs throughout India by making sure that every citizen of the country knows about the government's policies. Various types of camps of different departments were also organized in the event for the welfare of the villagers. And the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra is also being undertaken across India with the aim to inform the people about the government's welfare measures by ensuring that their benefits reach all the targeted people in a time-bound manner. The Yatra reached in Fatehpur district of the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Indian Minister for State of Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti participated in the Yatra. Local residents gave her a rousing welcome and expressed enthusiasm for the next phase of the program. On this occasion, several beneficiaries shared their stories of progress and positive change under the segment Meri Kahani, Meri Zubani. Time now to get you some sporting updates as well. And first in cricket, Rohit Sharma-led Indian cricket team will face Afghanistan for the second T20 international match in the central Indian city of Indore on Sunday. India will be eyeing to seal the series with another win under Rohit's captaincy, as the veteran will play his 150th T20 international match on Sunday. He will be the first player to achieve this milestone today. Afghanistan, on the other hand, will leave no stone unturned to level the series during Sunday's encounter. It will be the first time Virat Kohli will be playing T20 internationals after missing the first match due to personal reasons, first time after a long gap. Indian shuttlers Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty lost their final match of the Malaysian Open Super 1000 tournament on Sunday. The Indian duo lost after winning the first set to Chinese pair of Wang and Liang 21-9, 18-21 and 21-17. The Asian Games gold medalists showcased a dominant performance throughout the first game, swiftly claiming the first set in a mere 16 minutes. However, the world number 1 pair from China made a swift comeback, including a return from being down 3-10 in the final set to clinch the title. The second edition of India's Kho-Kho League, Ultimate Kho-Kho, concluded on Saturday, with Gujarat Giants becoming the champions. Gujarat Giants defeated Chennai Quick Guns 31-26 at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Cuttack on Saturday. Despite battling bouts of inconsistency during the league phase, Gujarat Giants were superb on the day as they closed off the contest in the first innings itself to the Quick Guns, who were favourites coming into the match. Gujarat Giants took the prize of $137,000, while Chennai Quick Guns received $68,215. Odisha Juggernauts, who finished third by defeating Telugu Yodhas, received $36,200. Sanket Kadam was adjudged the best attacker of the match, while Vijay Shinde won the best defender of the match. Suyansh Gargate won another award. In football, Barcelona has set up a dream Spanish Super Cup final clash with Real Madrid on Sunday. The El Clasico in Saudi Arabia will be hard fought, with no dearth of action in the showpiece clash.
Spanish Super Cup final clash with Real Madrid on Sunday after a 2-0 win over Osasuna in the semi-final. The El Clasico in Saudi Arabia will be hard fought and there will be no dearth of action in the summit clash. Barcelona coach Xavi Hernandez has issued a warning to his club's rival.
We need to go into the match looking to dominate, take the ball from Madrid. We need to show more than ever our DNA, our style of play. It is an ideal match. A final against Madrid is a Clasico. That gives us extra motivation. We need to show our best soccer.
However, Real Madrid could come out on top given their incredible consistency and ability to conjure comebacks this season. A case in point being the semi-final. Real Madrid has beaten city rivals Atletico Madrid 5-0 in the breathtaking derby.
The team is really happy. I think we need to relax. There are still 90 minutes to win the title, and that's our objective. It's nothing new. It is in Real Madrid's DNA. This is a good lesson for the younger players who have come back.
The stakes do not get higher than this. To win the team's first silverware of the season will serve as a massive confident booster to the dressing room, fans and the management.
It's quite a sporty evening to look forward to tonight. Now, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X as well as Instagram. For all the latest, keep watching DD India.